you know? With fame often comes division. While some rock stars from the 90s were loved by millions, others were met with just as much hate. And hatred quickly caught up to one of the most talented songwriters in rock history, Billy Corgan. Now, the Smashing Pumpkins will always have a special place in the heart of rock fans, but Billy, he's had his fair share of troubles with fans. Ego and arrogance are the words often mentioned when fans talk about Corgan, and that was all because of the rockstar persona he carried with him. It's hard to think about a rock star without an attitude, but thinking of yourself as larger than life and being too overconfident? Nah, that won't cut it. Billy wasn't shy about speaking his mind. He always thought of himself as a misunderstood genius, and this know-it-all attitude is what caught up to him, eventually resulting in feuds with his own bandmates. Who can forget the infamous feud in 1999 between him and guitarist Darcy Retzky? And it was a big one. It was so massive that Retzky even went on record to say Billy loved to humiliate people and shame people in front of others. It was incredibly abusive.
Anyway, let's take this opportunity to demystify the woman in rock.
It all began when she wasn't allowed to play on the band's album, Siamese Dream. Why? Because Billy, being Billy, wanted to make sure that every single song on the album was played perfectly, and Retzky's bass parts did not meet his standards. Can you guess what he did next? He re-recorded most of Retzky's bass parts to bring out what he thought was the best version. She was a member of the band for over 10 years. Do you really think she could have stayed in a famous rock band that long if she didn't know what she was doing? Well, that's Billy Corgan for us, I guess. But you can't use the word hate when talking about Kurt Cobain, because he was, and still is, loved by millions of rock fans, especially because the music he wrote inspired generations. Honestly, it would be a lot easier to tell you guys who Cobain didn't influence than who he did. Artists like Jay-Z, Justin Timberlake, Lana Del Rey, and Blink-182, they've all quoted Nirvana songs in their own lyrics. And it's impossible to forget about the time when rock band Weezer played an entire concert of Nirvana covers. I wish I was there. It is safe to say that Kurt was loved by all his fellow musicians. For instance, Vernon Reid of rock band Living Colour said, Cobain changed the course of where the music went. Now that's huge coming from a guy like Reid, and that's not all. Nirvana helped a lot of new guitarists too. They launched many garage band covers of their songs that are available on SoundCloud and YouTube so young musicians can learn. Smells Like Teen Spirit is among the first songs many new guitarists learned to play. You know what I like so much about Cobain? He was one of the most humble guys on the planet because while speaking in 1991, he even downplayed his own musical talents. I don't understand anything technical about music at all. I don't understand any of it. Why you can't put these sounds together with those sounds? I only know what sounds good to us. This is what he said about his own music. I mean, you can tell what a down-to-earth persona he carried with him. And not only did he inspire young musicians, he was never shy about speaking for gay rights, homophobia, and sexism. Cobain even said that he wished he was gay, just to annoy homophobes, and often took part in protests against sexism. He really wanted to make this world a perfect one for us to live. But the guy I'll talk about next was nowhere close to making the world peaceful and perfect, at least not for his fellow musicians. Lars Ulrich is a great drummer and a great musician, but is he a great human? Not according to former Metallica bassist Jason Newsted, who left the band due to disagreements between him and his former bandmates. Following the formation of Newsted's side project Echo Brain in 2000, he said Lars contacted him saying that he needed to meet with the band right away. And what happened at that meeting? Boy, that's shameful! Lars began scolding Newsted, reminding him that he's a member of Metallica and that he shouldn't be thinking about any side projects. Jason didn't take this nicely. Who would when you're being scolded in front of your mates? He broke down in front of his bandmates and apologized profusely, but he said this confrontation is what served as the origin for his departure from Metallica. And this isn't even the worst thing Ulrich ever did. Earlier in 1997, an ongoing feud erupted between him and the legendary band Motley Crue when Lars exposed the Crue for performing with a backing track at the 1997 American Music Awards. Now, we all know what Crue bassist Nikki Sixx is like. He's not the one to stay quiet at something like this. So he decided to respond with an open letter to Lars which read, "Dear sweet, fat, balding Lars, taking your ever moronic soapbox position on a subject that's none of your business has made you out to be an a-hole as usual." The letter had some other colorful insults as well, but this is enough to give you guys an idea of what Sixx thought of the Metallica drummer. And just so you're wondering, no, Metallica and Motley Crue have still not made up after all those years. Okay, that's enough hate for now. Let's talk about some nice people. And who is nicer than Pearl Jam's Eddie Vedder? If you don't know about Eddie and the things he does, well, maybe you've been living under a rock. He's absolutely adored by his fans, mainly because of the things he does on stage. His stage presence is always 10 out of 10. I mean, it's impossible not to get goosebumps every time you hear him sing, because his energy is just out of this world. And boy, does Eddie love his fans back. The band was performing at Greenville in 2016 when Eddie noticed a fan carrying a sign that said, "Alive saved my life." Guess what he did next? Ed stepped down from the stage, went to the crowd, and gave that guy a hug, as if these two go way back with each other. I can't even imagine the emotions that guy felt. Ed truly made his day, maybe even his life, because he might just remember this moment forever. Eddie is a great musician, but he's an even better human. All his social activities are proof of that. Like the time when he founded the Vitalogy Foundation with his band members to support social change, community health, and education. And that's not it. His support for the Free the West Memphis 3 movement and Earth First are among many of his social activism causes, and is one of the biggest reasons why fans love him and respect him. Love and respect did not always find their way to Oasis lead singer Liam Gallagher. He's had a love-hate relationship with his fans, most of which was hate, to be honest, and that was mainly because of his arrogance and cockiness. Liam has this bad boy image, and when you combine it with his self-assuredness, it really rubbed many fans the wrong way. He's known for his bold statements, and this one time he was so over his head that he even dissed his own fans. In an interview with NME in 1996, Liam said, "I'm not interested in fans. I'm not interested in anything except for me. If you like my music, great. If not, I don't give a Imagine enjoying someone's music and then finding out that the person doesn't even care about you. Not only his fans, but other bands were also not safe from Liam. He wasn't shy about throwing negative comments towards other bands, especially those he thought are not real rock bands. Like in 1996 when he said, "The Spice Girls are a load of but they sold more records than us. So I guess they're doing something right." Hearing about all this, it makes sense why Liam Gallagher gets so much hate. You gotta give respect to earn respect, Liam. And respect is what the most loved rock artist of the 90s gave to everyone around him. And that's why people still only say good things about him. He's much respected. First of all, there is no doubt that Dave Grohl is an incredible musician. That's mainly because of his versatility as a musician. You see, he isn't just an amazing drummer. Grohl's a pretty gifted guitarist, vocalist, and songwriter. How can I forget about his work with Foo Fighters? The man single-handedly gave us some of the most iconic rock anthems over the years. And that's all because he's music inside out. Josh Homme once said, "Grohl can do it all. He's a damn force of nature." Grohl has worked tirelessly with dedication to make his music near perfect. He's always giving it everything he's got when he's performing for the fans. And that's something they love about him. But it's not just his music that has a special place in the hearts of rock fans. It's his personality too. This guy knows how to treat his fans. We've often seen him inviting his fans on stage and giving them a chance to perform with him. This has happened in a lot of Foo Fighters shows. Like a few years ago, in 2018, when the band was performing in Kansas City, Grohl invited a 10-year-old kid up on stage to play guitar with him. And boy, did the kid blow our minds with his insane skills, or what? Now, this is just one out of many times it happened. Guess what? That's just who Grohl is. If an artist wants to learn how to treat their fans the right way, Dave Grohl's the one they should look up to. Oh my, these rock stars. Love them or hate them, but the 90s wouldn't have been the same without them.